Greetings, everyone. I'm Vlad Dracula Tepes, one of the most renowned scholars this world ever seen. In this video, I'm going to teach you the secrets to immortality and the true history of Hermes Trismegistus. Make sure you follow. Master of all arts and sciences, perfect in all crafts, ruler of the three worlds, scribe of the gods, and keeper of the books of life. The three times greatest, the first intelligencer, was regarded by the ancient Egyptians as the embodiment of the universal mind. While in all probability there actually existed a great sage and educator by the name of Hermes, it is impossible to extricate the historical man from the mass of legendary accounts which attempt to identify him with the cosmic principle of thought. Thoth and Hermes, two entities of divine wisdom, were often seen as a singular force. As psychopomps, they served as guides in the realm of the departed. Thoth, the deity of eloquence and interpretation, was revered as the architect of the alphabet and the craft of writing. This invention has been a cornerstone for humanity, allowing us to safeguard our vast reservoir of knowledge. Thoth, often referred to as the heart of Ra, the voice of Atum, and the conduit of the unnamed god, embodies divine speech. As the fountainhead of all forms of knowledge, both mortal and divine, he is a testament to the power of words and wisdom. When Hermes met Thoth in Greco-Egyptian Alexandria, Hermes Trismegistus was born. Soon after, the great Trinitarians came together to understand his wisdom, and dedicated themselves to receiving the same cosmic enlightenment that Hermes himself had received. Hermes Trismegistus is the author of the famous Emerald Tablet, which is the source of the most famous Hermetic maxim, as above, so below, the key to astrology, medicine, and other occult sciences. When we call Hermes a myth, we acknowledge his transcendence over any one historical figure, which describes the enduring course of human life, and Hermes, who lacks a fixed identity, appears as archaic, potentially authentic, the symbol of all seekers, or perhaps the essence of the seeker of truth. He is certainly having experiences that all truth seekers want to have. Numerous writers chose to pen their works under the pseudonym of Hermes, a fitting choice for followers of this deity. The pursuit of genuine wisdom and knowledge warranted attribution to the master of all learning. As per the records of Manetho, an esteemed Egyptian priest and historian, an astounding total of over 36,000 volumes bear the name of Hermes Trismegistus. There are treatises about the origin and nature of the soul, creationism, astrology, alchemy, magic, healing, and so on. Most of these, however, have been lost, but we have surmised from scattered sources that there were more Hermetic writings than we have today. The name thrice-great is thought to derive from the sanctuary of Ibis at Saqqara in Egypt. Records of the Ibis cult meeting held there in 172 mention the name Megistu Kai Megistu Theo Megalu Hermu, great and great god great Hermes. Thus the name thrice-great acquires the force of an Egyptian quality. He is also known as the Great Three because he was a great priest, philosopher, and king. Contemporary scholars have drawn a useful, albeit somewhat contrived, distinction between the technical Hermetica and the religio-philosophical Hermetica. The technical Hermetica, which delves into subjects such as astrology, medicine, botany, alchemy, and magic, could trace its origins back to as early as the 2nd or 3rd century BC. Notable texts in this category include the Liber Hermetis, the Greek magical papyri, the Book of Asclepius known as Myriogenesis, and the renowned Emerald Tablet. In contrast, the religio-philosophical Hermetica presents a collection of religious, mystical, or spiritual doctrines of an initiatory nature, penned between the 1st and 3rd centuries AD. The cornerstone of this collection is the Corpus Hermeticum, an anthology of 17 anonymous treatises, some of which have not been preserved in their entirety. The title of this anthology can be somewhat deceptive, as it encompasses only a fraction of the existing Hermetic texts, while the term corpus is typically used to denote the complete collection of writings pertaining to a particular author or subject. These treatises are distinct, standalone works, rather than chapters of a single book. The criteria used to curate this collection remain unknown. Essential to the teaching of Hermeticism is the profound understanding that the essence of the individual is essentially indistinguishable from the Divine Supreme. This awakening, called gnosis, is a single moment, often portrayed as a second birth. The teaching offers a spiritual journey that opens the way to this knowledge. It is not the fruit of worldly intellectual labor, but the fruit of divine wisdom. Gnosis, a term derived from Greek, signifies knowledge. However, it is a form of understanding distinct from episteme, another Greek term for knowledge, which is propositional or concerned with the nature of things. Gnosis is not a product of debate, logical reasoning, or empirical scrutiny. It transcends rationality, embodying a religious and mystical form of enlightenment that is revealed rather than acquired, serving as the pathway to personal salvation. We exist in a state of unawareness, oblivious to the authentic essence of reality and our role within it. For a significant number of individuals, perhaps the majority, this state of affairs is not problematic. They embrace the routine of daily life without questioning our purpose or the actions we should undertake. However, those in pursuit of gnosis find this acceptance unsatisfactory. Many agnostics argue that the knowledge we seek is unattainable, defining knowledge in terms of episteme. This is a profound misinterpretation. The English language lacks the nuance to differentiate these forms of knowledge, a distinction that many other languages preserve. For example, in Spanish, French, and German, the words saber, savoir, and wissen are used to denote propositional knowledge, episteme, but they also have the words connaître, connaître, and kennen to express knowledge gained through direct experience, akin to gnosis. This form of knowledge stems from personal observation and experience, rather than the ability to articulate it. Within the framework of Hermeticism, the human soul is initially situated in a state of flawless non-dual awareness. It dwells beyond the confines of the cosmos in a domain that transcends space and time. However, as it descends into the planetary realms and inhabits a physical form, the soul becomes tainted by the malevolent tormentors of darkness, symbolic of sins or vices. The issue lies not with the physical form, but with the passions that stir within. At this very instant, we are all immersed in a state of illusion. Our authentic essence is rooted in a non-physical state, and the sole objective of life is to reunite with this true self. For adherents of Hermeticism, it is feasible to achieve spiritual illumination or gnosis during our earthly existence. This is a crucial differentiation from Gnosticism, where the divine spark within the human soul is perceived to have descended into the material realm, becoming ensnared within it. Gnosticism espouses a dualistic perspective of a physical world and a spiritual world. The aim of gnosis is to break free from the worldly prison and ascend to the spiritual realm, a feat deemed achievable only post-mortem, upon liberation from the corporeal cage crafted by the malevolent demiurge as a barrier to salvation. Thus, while both Hermeticists and Gnostics speak of gnosis, Hermeticists are not Gnostics. Gnostics would resonate with the allegory of Plato's cave, where captives are shackled and compelled to perceive the shadows of reality, misconstruing them as the truth. The objective is to break free from the cave and step into the light, or in other words, to liberate oneself from the physical form and ascend to the realm of ideal Platonic forms. However, this is not the path of Hermes. In the philosophy of Hermeticism, the goal is not to flee to the spiritual realm, but to embody and manifest the virtues of goodness, truth, and beauty in the material world. Our mission is to nurture the world, ensuring it receives the respect it rightfully deserves, as desired by the divine source. Hence, Hermeticists affirm the world rather than denying it. The cosmos is not viewed as a lesser creation of a demiurge, but is often portrayed as a realm of beauty and perfection. Unlike the dualistic nature of Gnosticism, Hermeticism primarily embraces non-dualism, acknowledging a single reality, which is the spiritual light that serves as the origin of all existence. Upon perusing the corpus, one might encounter seemingly stark contrasts: monism or dualism, optimism or pessimism. However, these variations are not contradictory but sequential. They represent progressive stages of comprehension, integral to the initiate's spiritual voyage, a metaphorical ascent towards gnosis, reminiscent of ascending Jacob's ladder to the heavens. Through the practice of theurgy, divine work, we can seek divine intervention. By meticulously orchestrating rituals and ceremonies, we establish the ideal conditions for the divine to manifest, employing the appropriate words and offerings. Rather than striving to reach the gods, it is they who descend to mend our souls. For a Hermeticist, the objective is to extricate oneself from the entanglements of ignorance by fostering eusebeia, an ancient Greek term denoting the cultivation of reverence and sacred awe for the divine. It is said that wisdom begins with the fear of the Lord. In Hermeticism, piety holds paramount importance, encompassing the veneration of the gods and the divine creations, the true, the good, and the beautiful. This reverence alone can pave the way to salvation, irrespective of whether one has achieved gnosis. The gods are capable of forgiving all save for irreverence, which is the act of responding to the precious gift of life with indifference and disrespect. The Hermetica are rooted in the annals of piety, not philosophy, and the gravest sin is impiety. The god of Hermeticism is self-existent, transcendent, androgynous, and the fountainhead of all existence. He encompasses the entirety of creation within himself. The cosmos springs forth from him and is imbued with life through his essence. Thus, a Hermeticist can attain knowledge of God by understanding the cosmos. The second god, the cosmos, is a reflection of the first god. The Father is eternal by his own nature, while the cosmos achieves eternity and immortality through its birth from the Father. Humanity is created in the likeness of the cosmos, yet, as per the Father's will, does not exist like other terrestrial beings. Humanity not only shares a connection with the second god, but also holds an understanding of the first. The second god is perceived as a physical entity, while the first is conceived as an incorporeal being, referred to as nous, or the summum bonum, the supreme good. This represents the pinnacle of reality in the cosmos, the true essence of every individual, and the fundamental nature of all creation. The cosmos, being susceptible to movement, cannot be deemed entirely good, yet it is free from corruption due to its immortality. Conversely, humans being both movable and mortal are subject to corruption. Humanity shares a profound bond with both the cosmos and God. Despite our imperfections, we possess the potential to attain perfection through our spiritual faculties. Thus, our spirit, unlike our mortal bodies, represents our true essence, which is immortal and inherently good. God, the cosmos, and man are interconnected in a hierarchical and inseparable manner. They interact with each other, forming a cohesive whole. As a result, celestial bodies such as stars and planets exert influence over our earthly existence. In this hierarchy, man is depicted as a reflection of God, while all existing entities are perceived as being suffused with pneuma, the divine breath or life force. The alignment of the three realms forms the foundation for introspective meditation. The Hermeticist initially directs their attention to the first image, the physical world, which is imbued with divine essence. Gradually, their focus shifts to the second image, humanity. Assisted by nous, humans are granted the extraordinary privilege of gazing heavenward and transcending their mortal limitations. As the sole beings with knowledge of the supreme God, humans possess the potential to ascend to divinity even within their earthly existence. The Hermetica serves as a guide for the initiate on their spiritual journey, outlining the phases of initiation into the Hermetic mysteries with the ultimate goal of union with God. This spiritual ascent is facilitated by the cultivation of three key faculties: logos, gnosis, and nous. The student hones the faculty of logos, or rational discourse, through attentive listening to the master's divine wisdom and engaging in meaningful dialogue with him. The second faculty we've examined is gnosis, which facilitates the cultivation of nous. In contrast to logos, gnosis necessitates silence and meditation. As nous gives birth to speech in the quietude, it is only the speech that emerges from silence that leads to salvation. Knowledge is akin to a spiritual renaissance, rooted in the understanding that the Supreme God desires to be known and can indeed be known by those who merit his revelation. This profound realization cannot be achieved devoid of piety and reverence. Hermetic doctrines typically manifest as dialogues between a mentor and a pupil. It is postulated that these texts primarily stemmed from unstructured compilations of aphorisms or phrases memorized, serving as spiritual drills designed to enhance the mental capabilities of the individual. Over time, these acquired a systematic commentary. Hermetic phrases have a mysterious way of etching themselves into your memory, making them hard to forget. They continue to influence your thoughts even when they are not at the forefront of your mind, with the majority of these encapsulated in the definitions. Indeed, the corpus illustrates a tri-generational lineage of the mentor-student relationship. This transmission of knowledge is initiated by divine entities, Poimandres or Nous and Agathos Daimon, who bestow it upon Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes, in turn, imparts this wisdom to Asclepius and Tat. Ultimately, Asclepius and Tat disseminate this knowledge further, sharing it with others. This cycle embodies the timeless tradition of knowledge transfer in the realm of Hermeticism. The narrative commences with Hermes engrossed in contemplation about the universe, its origins, and its creator. Amidst this meditative state, a figure materializes before him, ready to unveil the answers to his queries. This figure is identified as Poimandres, or Nous, who proclaims, I know what you want, and I am with you everywhere. Hermes responds, I wish to learn about the things that are, to understand their nature, and to know God. This dialogue propels Hermes into an ecstatic state of altered consciousness, culminating in a vision. The Hermetica consistently emphasize that beyond the ordinary faculty of sight, there exists a superior form of vision, often referred to as the eyes of the heart or of the mind, nous. The authentic essence of the enlightened individual can only be discerned through this elevated faculty. Those who are consumed by malevolence, envy, avarice, acts of violence, and impiety find themselves distanced from nous. They are ensnared by the avenging spirit, which assails each one through their senses, hurling flaming arrows at them. The avenging spirit subjects them to torment, intensifying the flames to their maximum. We all harbor these dark tormentors within us. Poimandres elucidates how the soul must embark on a journey through the 7 planetary spheres to cleanse itself of these tormentors. Following this purification, the soul departs from the cosmos and ascends to the 8th sphere, a realm beyond the constraints of space and time. The souls residing there rejoice in unison at its arrival, and having assimilated with its companions, it hears the powers that dwell above the 8th sphere in the realm of light singing glorious hymns to God. The souls ascend to the Father, surrendering themselves to the powers and merge with God. Hermes becomes a beacon of light illuminated by nous. As the vision concludes, he offers a heartfelt prayer of gratitude. He assumes the role of a prophet, disseminating the teachings he has received, with the aim of rousing us from our spiritual slumber and intoxication, and guiding us towards the immortality that is our inherent right. Many have chosen to succumb to death despite possessing the ability to partake in immortality. Some scoffed at him and dismissed his teachings, while others prostrated themselves at his feet, yearning for salvation. In the eyes of a Hermeticist, humanity is of divine essence, not to be classified alongside other beings, nor even those celestial entities referred to as gods. For humans possess the unique attribute of existing simultaneously on earth, in the sea, and in the heavens. The soul's greatest affliction is its ignorance of God. For a soul that lacks knowledge of the supreme good is blind, trembling with physical discomfort and tormented by darkness. If we fail to elevate ourselves to the level of God, we remain incapable of comprehending Him. Understanding is born from likeness. Allow your spirit to expand until it matches the immeasurable magnitude of God. Leap beyond all corporeal constraints, transcend the confines of time, and become the Ion. Only then will you truly understand God. The choice between mortality and immortality lies within our grasp. It is the lesser choice that leads to man's downfall. Those consumed by anger and desire often overlook what truly merits their attention, instead succumbing to the bodily pleasures and cravings. They operate under the belief that man's purpose is to indulge in these sensations, or they erroneously perceive these profound vices as the ultimate virtues. If you want to learn more about the true nature of our world and what lies beyond the secret teachings of history, show your love by clicking the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I see you next time.